In this podcast episode, the host sits down with renowned health and nutrition expert Jillian Michaels. Together, they delve into the alarming realities of the food industry, the impact of toxic chemicals on our health, and the importance of making informed dietary choices. Michaels begins by addressing the pervasive issue of chemicals in our food supply. She highlights that there are approximately 10,000 chemicals classified as generally recognized as safe by the FDA. This designation allows food companies to self-regulate and vouch for the safety of these chemicals without thorough independent testing. In contrast, many of these substances have been banned in other developed countries due to health concerns. Michaels emphasizes that this regulatory loophole is a significant problem as it allows potentially harmful additives to remain in our food. The discussion turns to specific examples, such as red dye number 3, which was banned in cosmetics due to its carcinogenic properties but continues to be used in food products. Michaels argues that this is just the tip of the iceberg, as there are countless other chemicals that pose similar risks. The implications of consuming these additives are profound, as they can contribute to a range of health issues, including obesity, diabetes, and even cancer. Michaels urges listeners to be vigilant about what they consume and to educate themselves on the ingredients in their food. As the conversation progresses, Michaels and the host discuss the rise of processed foods and their detrimental effects on public health. Michaels points out that in the 1980s, only about 5% of the adult population was classified as obese or overweight. However, this number has skyrocketed to nearly 74% today. She attributes this alarming trend to the increased consumption of ultra-processed foods, which are often loaded with unhealthy additives and devoid of nutritional value. Michaels explains that these processed foods are engineered to be hyper-palatable, meaning they are designed to trigger our brain's pleasure centers and encourage overconsumption. This manipulation of our biology leads to a cycle of unhealthy eating habits that can be difficult to break. Instead of addressing the root causes of obesity and related health issues, the food industry continues to push these products, further exacerbating the problem. Michaels advocates for a return to whole, unprocessed foods as a means of reclaiming our health. The discussion shifts to the growing trend of using pharmaceutical drugs for weight loss, particularly medications like semaglutide and its derivatives. Michaels explains that while these drugs can lead to short-term weight loss, they come with a host of potential side effects, including muscle loss, gastrointestinal issues, and even psychological effects like suicidal ideation. She emphasizes that these medications should only be considered in extreme cases of obesity where other interventions have failed. Michaels argues that the focus should be on lifestyle changes rather than relying on drugs to solve the problem of obesity. She believes that the pharmaceutical industry is capitalizing on the obesity epidemic rather than addressing its root causes. By promoting a culture of quick fixes, we risk neglecting the importance of sustainable, healthy habits that can lead to long-term wellness. Michaels encourages listeners to prioritize nutrition and exercise over pharmaceutical solutions. Throughout the podcast, Michaels stresses the need for better nutrition education among the public. She acknowledges that many people are overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information available and may not know where to start. Michaels advocates for simple, actionable steps that individuals can take to improve their diets and overall health. For example, she suggests incorporating more whole foods, such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, into daily meals. Michaels also highlights the importance of reading food labels and understanding the ingredients in our food. She encourages listeners to be proactive in their food choices and to seek out organic options whenever possible. By educating ourselves about what we consume, we can make informed decisions that positively impact our health. Michaels believes that knowledge is power, and the more we understand about our food, the better equipped we are to make healthier choices. As the conversation deepens, Michaels and the host discuss the corruption within the food industry and its ties to government regulations. Michaels explains that many food companies have significant influence over the policies that govern food safety and labeling. This relationship creates a conflict of interest as companies prioritize profit over public health. Michaels argues that this corruption has led to a system that allows harmful chemicals and additives to remain in our food supply. Michaels also points out that the lobbying efforts of big food companies have resulted in regulations that favor their interests rather than those of consumers. This manipulation of the system has far-reaching consequences, as it perpetuates a cycle of unhealthy eating habits and contributes to the obesity epidemic. Michaels calls for greater transparency and accountability within the food industry to ensure that consumers are protected from harmful substances. The discussion shifts to the role of government in public health, particularly in relation to food safety and nutrition. Michaels expresses her frustration with the lack of action taken by government agencies to address the issues surrounding toxic chemicals in food. She believes that the government has a responsibility to protect its citizens from harmful substances and to promote healthy eating habits. Michaels argues that the current regulatory framework is inadequate and needs to be reformed to prioritize public health. She advocates for stricter regulations on food additives and greater oversight of the food industry. By holding companies accountable for the safety of their products, the government can help create a healthier food environment for all citizens. Michaels emphasizes that this is not just a personal responsibility, but a collective one that requires action from both individuals and policymakers. As the conversation progresses, Michaels highlights the connection between food and mental health. She explains that the gut-brain connection plays a crucial role in our overall well-being. The foods we consume can significantly impact our mood, energy levels, and mental clarity. Michaels emphasizes that a diet rich in whole foods can support mental health and help prevent issues like anxiety and depression. Michaels also discusses the potential dangers of relying on processed foods and sugar-laden snacks, which can lead to mood swings and energy crashes. She encourages listeners to prioritize nutrient-dense foods that nourish both the body and mind. By making conscious food choices, we can improve our mental health and overall quality of life. Throughout the podcast, Michaels emphasizes the importance of lifestyle choices in maintaining good health. She advocates for regular physical activity, proper nutrition, and stress management as essential components of a healthy lifestyle. Michaels believes that small, consistent changes can lead to significant improvements in overall health and well-being. Michaels also highlights the importance of finding enjoyable forms of exercise that fit into one's lifestyle. Whether it's walking, dancing, or participating in group fitness classes, staying active is crucial for maintaining a healthy weight and preventing chronic diseases. By prioritizing movement and making it a regular part of our lives, we can enhance our physical and mental health. As the conversation comes to a close, Michaels emphasizes the need for personal responsibility when it comes to health and nutrition. She acknowledges that while external factors, such as the food industry and government regulations, play a role in our health, individuals must take ownership of their choices. Michaels encourages listeners to be proactive in seeking out information and making informed decisions about their diets. Michaels believes that by taking responsibility for our health, we can create positive change in our lives and communities. She urges listeners to prioritize their well-being and to advocate for healthier food options in their local environments. By working together, we can foster a culture of health and wellness that benefits everyone.